Saturday, 10:21 a.m. November 17th, Saturday. I heard Richie from Boston this morning setting dates for his departure from YouTube, or at least the first channel. Don't know why he said December 10th is going to be his time that he's up. But when I do the math from December 10th, 21 days before that is November 19th, which is 2 days away. 11/19/19. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud here. 3 weeks is 21 days is that period of time. But from 12/10, 3 full weeks is January 3rd. I mean, no, I'm sorry, it's not January 3rd. It's the end of December, right? Yeah, 10, 30, 31. Yeah, so it's New Year's Eve, right? When the ark rests on the top of Mount Ararat, when it's resting there. And there's that 7-day period between, well, Christmas and New Year's Eve. Again, I'm trying to figure why his channel would get shut off. Why he thinks his channel's gonna get shut off on that specific date. But 7 days in between Christmas, 12/25. I seen Kleck throwing around the 12/25 number, exchanging gifts. Like they're literally I have to always keep in mind the different ways that the Bible is interpreted. The way the elite is playing out the Bible in time prophecy, where it's how they interpret it, it's how they want you to interpret it. And then the truth of how to interpret it. So exchange of gifts to one another. Well, Christmas is always on 25th of December, right? I believe that's what it is. No matter what day. And then Thanksgiving is always on Thursday, no matter what the date is. So Christmas is always on the exact date, no matter what the day, and Thanksgiving is always on the day, no matter what the date. So when you're exchanging gifts to one another for 3.5 days, and it comes to December 28th, which would be my 42nd month since my 40th birthday, the timeline of the waking up process, because 2016 is truly the year that I woke up, because I dug into the Bible because of the events that I started seeing in 2015, and then I wrote those letters to my neighbors. It's all going to come into remembrance really soon. Those neighbors that got those letters a couple years back. On October the 7th is when I was writing it, 2016. So December 28th it'll be exactly 43 and a half. I'll be 43 and a half years old. And to learn about what the world script is, to only be 43 and a half years old, I'll take it. I'll definitely take that. So that's 42 months for me. And then 3 days and a half later, Because here's the deal. They're going to exchange gifts to one another. And I have a feeling they're going to do that literally because in order for 7 billion people to believe that, if they even know the Bible scripture at all, but that's kind of famous, one after 3.5 days, two witnesses are killed in the streets, and you know the whole story. But it seems like they'll definitely play that out so the majority of the world can believe that that's what it means at Christmas, where they're exchanging gifts. And then so after 3.5 days of exchanging gifts, it lands on the 28th. And then what they can do is they can start partying it up, and they can wait, or they understand it the way I do, which is, and then after 3.5 days, the breath of life enters back to God's people. So when they do that, take into account the pet goat 2 thing. That's the fireworks, or right before the girl is looking for peace, then the fireworks go off, and it's like, nope, sorry, which either represented 4th of July or New Year's Eve. I'm leaning more towards New Year's Evil, because Klek is claiming to be Eve in the flesh, which is Satan, which is evil, which is Adam and Eve. The true meaning of it is they're getting reconciled back together after 1,000 years, because the first 930 didn't go so well. So the last 70 are going to go so well. But I also heard this 4321 number out there, like all the days of Adam, they're not fulfilled until 4321. All right, fine. I mean, whatever, but it doesn't mean that the world ain't going to change drastically before Adam's days are fulfilled. And he's not dying. There's no killings. There's no deaths. It ain't like that. He'll die of old age. So will Eve. But all right, fine, Steve. If that's the way it is. 4321. All right. Well, then I'll just remember back to my other dates that I began YouTube on 4217, and so when you go, I know there's a 3-year period. I keep hearing Trump talking about this 3 years, and he's only been here for 3 years. And I know there's a period of time of a 42-month period. There's a period of time of 3 years, which would be 3 full years, which is 3 entirely full years before you get going into that 4th year. So when I look at April 2nd, because I also look at Christ died. It's like a continuance, a day, and then a continuance. Like Christ died on April 1st, 33 AD. He was born on October 2nd, 7 BC, which made him 39 and a half years old when he was silenced. When they took his body of Christ to his resting place after being in the belly of the beast of the earth for 3 days. 3 days, a day is a year is a day. So when he was crucified on April 1st, 33 AD, and he was born on October 2nd, 7 BC, made him 39 and a half. My very first video on YouTube was April 2nd. So it was like this, it was like the after, you know, April 1st goes all the way to the fullest end, and then it becomes April 2nd. Well, that was my birth on YouTube. And if Steve wants to say that all the days of Adam are fulfilled in 4321, April 3rd, 2021, well then fine. Come April 3rd, 2021, at the end of April 2nd, 2021, well, that would be 3 full years, which goes into the 4th. On the 3rd of April, that begins the 4 year to the 5th year. So that would be 3 full years. These are just numbers that I have in my head. 21-day period, 21-day period, 3-day period. That's 45 days from the time that the abomination of desolation is standing in the holy place. When you see Kleck standing there in that holy place. So let's see. I don't know, remember why I came up with 1919, but I'm hoping, I'm hoping that this event happens so everybody can start waking the hell up, so I can graduate, and so you can take me serious. Like, I know there's people that take me serious, which are the ones that can see from the inside, looking out, surveillance. I'm not here to convince you guys of anything. What I have understood is that I literally do this for my subs, because I can just hop on and just talk about the dates, about the timelines, about what people say, right? But it's not as effective until you show, like, even by me talking about dates, that's for the ones that are on the inside to see what I know. I'm just letting you know what I know. And it's whether it's true or not immediately like that, because you already know. But my regular subs, you don't know that. So what I do is I try to show you, I'll show you on the computer the date, the time, adding up the people that are saying this. I'll take the clips of who's saying this and that, and that's how I get, because I can just come on here and say, well, Kleck said this, RFB said that. It's not as effective until you actually hear the words from their mouths and how they say it. Then it's like the way that they talk, then you can perceive it better, their mindset, how I can understand their thinking patterns behind it. So it's like it makes it a clear, vivid image in your head that you can see, and it just makes more sense that way. But from 1919, 21-day period does land on 12/10. For whatever reason, RFB is saying that he thinks his channel will get shut down. Remember, he said this a year ago, 2 years ago, but it's time now. He knew it back then, his channel wasn't going to get shut. He knows exactly when his channel's getting shut down, and that's why I feel like towards the end of the Kleck's ordeal, everybody that's saying that things are going to happen, like AMTV, like how he's saying the economy and all this, yeah, he's right. He's right, because now it's going to happen. But he's said it the same exact way for so long, but this is the time period now. There's something about 12/12, because Steve's sign is 12/12. He's supposedly whatever from 12/12 to 2012. And then this is 7 years, so it's like acting like it's his 7-year tribulation period going into the 8th year or something like that. And then when 12/12 comes around and the sun is... See, I think the sun... the other day it was like 2:30 in the afternoon, and the sun was in my eyes. Like, it was low and in my eyes. And I just think, like, I don't know. I mean, I know the sun goes down earlier, but that 2:30 in the afternoon, it's dead in my eyes, like right here. I'm like, I don't know, it just doesn't seem right. But anyway, the moon, I mean the sun, yeah, it's probably the same thing. The sun is going to it's going to go down and at noon at time when the small hand gets to the 12 and the little hand gets to the 12, it's going to be 12/12. 12 noon at 12/12. So that leaves 2 days at 12/10 to 12/12. Who knows? I don't know. But I'm really looking forward to these events happening now. I'm really looking forward to Kleck giving us all that he got. I want to see everything that they have and laugh in your face. Even if my phone's not connected to the internet, I can't get on YouTube, I'm still pushing record, and I'm going to laugh in Kleck's face. And I'll still tell you how I'm doing, because I know that it goes to the people that are paying attention on the inside. you have that job to do. So I know that you're still, there's some of you that are, well, you're going to be interested in what's going on when nothing's going on, when everybody's fleeing from the fear of the noise. I'm sure you're going to be interested to see how am I handling it, because you're going to be interested to see how we handle it and the continents of our face. Because when else would they be exchanging gifts to one another? And on top of that, it's just as much as I don't want it to go that far, I can't help it. It's going. There's something about these hearings that have to happen all the way through, and then those two witnesses that are testifying against Trump will be dead in the streets for some reason, somehow. And then there was something about before Christmas, the Democrats, I don't know how to word it, but paraphrasing, but it's something about it's not going to go all the way to Christmas, and then Christmas is canceled this year, and that's just the way it is, because they're going to be literally exchanging gifts to one another, and they're going to exchange it up until the 28th of December, and then they're going to continue to exchange gifts to one another from Christmas to 3.5 days. And then after 3.5 days, they're going to continue to party, because they think it's 3.5 days, but it's really 7. But see, what happens is there's also 3 days of this dark period. So I don't know, when the ball drops at 12 midnight, noon, well, it would be 12 midnight over in Jerusalem time. I don't know, we'll see how it plays out. But remember, that sun is going to go down, and it's never went down before that we've seen in our lifetime, and I'm telling you, it's going to go down. So, and I'm not the one controlling the sun. I'm not God. I'm not the one that's going to make it bow down to me, but I will tell you that it's a sun simulator. Thanks to Richie from Boston, who helped me understand that that's what it is. And then thanks to Kleck to help me understand who he is and how he's in control of it. And thanks to Steve for telling me that planet Nibiru or X or something, or some star is going to come down, and the binary sun is going to destroy that one. It just all confirms that this sun's a freaking simulator, and that it's going to go down because they got to act as if they're God, and that's the main way of doing it. Which is making a bulb in the sky and turning it off, and then turning the light bulb moon into blood, and then have all the stars fall from heaven with the images that Kleck is laser beaming Johnny from the heavens down, and all the wars and everything, and the tsunamis and earthquakes, and yeah, it's gonna get bad. It's gonna get terrible out. It's gonna look like the world is ending. And it is ending, actually. The world that we know it, the world as we know it, is coming to an end. And then I get to get my legislation bill signed into Congress by by our hood. And then once we get that taken care of, we get to start building houses for each other.